Good morning.
Good morning.
What's our plan?
We're off to the legislative library.
Someone's very excited.
Gonna meet a friend who offered to give us a tour there, which is a pretty special opportunity.
We've been in the legislative building on like the public tours, but of course Devlin has a friend who has a way to get us into the legislative library. So that's going to be fun. Another rainy day though here.
Yep.
So it'd be good to do inside things. And we have to tell everyone about Rattenberry.
Oh yeah.
Later. Yeah. So what did we just do?
Oh, we had the most amazing tour of the legislative assembly, the legislature. Our friend works there, and so she showed us the library.
Well, and who actually gave us the full tour?
Well, that was pretty awesome.
Keith Baldry.
Keith Baldry.
From Global News.
And bumped into him in the hallway. Donna asked if he had a few minutes, and he said, sure. She said, well, why don't you give the tour? And so we got to hear his stories of the past 35, almost 40 years. He said 87, I think, is when
1987.
That's when he started. And yeah, all sorts of cool things that he pointed out and showed us.
And I mean, I grew up watching Keith Baldry on the news, always reporting. So he's a reporter with always reporting on politics. One interesting thing about the building is they have a photo for every new sitting of elected officials. And there's one from 1972 or something. And it's got this unknown woman that's in the top of the viewing gallery, and no one knows who she was. And some people say she was the ghost of Rattenberry, Francis Rattenberry, who is, or of his spouse. So, because Francis Rattenberry designed the Parliament buildings and many other buildings in town here, and was brutally murdered by the chauffeur of
George.
Yeah, and
Who'd
like
been hired for
bludgeoned.
him.
Yeah, and he had an affair with his wife. And then she convinced the chauffeur to murder Rattenbury. Anyways, very interesting history with Francis Rattenbury. And did we mention it already about Prince Rupert? The connection? What's the connection between Rattenbury and Prince Rupert?
He designed the buildings for the Grand Trunk Railway that Charles Hayes was wanting to build and wanting to fund, and so Rattenbury was hired as the architect on those plans. And then Charles Hayes, who worked for the railway at the time, went to England to fundraise for those, and Charles Hayes died tragically on the Titanic coming back, and so the plans and the dream of this incredible hotel in Prince Rupert died with him. But the Prince Rupert Archives and the library collaborated to acquire those plans, and so you can go into the archives and see them, and you can go to the library and buy little note cards that have the plans on them.
Yeah, so that there could have been a Rattenbury designed Grand Hotel in Prince Rupert if Charles Hayes hadn't died on the Titanic. And yeah.
And apparently Anna, so the second wife, was from Prince Rupert.
That's right.
But I've heard different stories about her, so
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Anyways, really cool place to visit. And then what's a special place that we got to see in the Parliament buildings that public access normally isn't granted?
We got to see the Legislative Library, which is incredible.
Yeah, like they have these books out that are like magazines.
Bound newspapers.
Yeah, bound newspapers from like
the different newspapers of the province.
Yeah.
And
from like 100 years ago.
Yep, up until 1980, at which point they all went onto microfiche.
Yeah.
And they bring out the month.
Of the year that we're
current, the current month, and
that
so
we're in. Yeah.
That was really neat to see. A sitting room, the fireplace,
the
new and used books.
The books that were in like a Christmas tree was really cool, and the marble was
incredible marble from Italy.
Yeah, and that was an addition. That wasn't part of the original plan. That part of the building. So where we walked through the threshold, that at one point was the back of the building. And now we're back at the boat.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some lunch.
Yeah, we've walked around. It's pouring. It's not pouring, but it's raining enough. And so we're gonna hunker down for a bit, and Shay's coming over later. Hang out with her, and then see what we get up to tonight. Well, it's the next day, and it's our last day here in Victoria. We've been out walking around, getting some things, and now Devlin's decorating gingerbread cookies. And then we got back to the boat just in time for the rain to start. So back on the boat, got the S-bar going, and we're going to visit with a few people today, and then head out early tomorrow. Left Victoria this morning around 9:15, and it was supposed to be sunny today, but it's been really socked in. We even tried out the radar to make sure it was working. Not much for wind, a lot of tidal current against us today,
so we've been going a bit slow. But we had a super fun time in Victoria, and Devlin had a fun time there. It was nice to spend so many days there. And we're on our way to Otter Bay, which is on North Pender Island. We're going to see if we can get a spot at the dock. The Vancouver Rowing Club has an outstation there, so last time I was there in the summer, I filmed it and I had to anchor. And the only disadvantage of anchoring in Otter Bay is you get a bit of ferry swell. So if we could stay at the dock, that would be nice, because I think we'll avoid that then. But we're going to stay there one night, and then we're going to go to Ganges and spend a few days in Ganges. So Devlin's looking forward to that. Another favorite spot on the south coast of Vancouver Island.
And what did we see today?
Oh, we had a highlight a couple hours ago in Harrow Strait. We saw, it was 2 or 3 killer whales. We saw them at quite a distance, and then we saw them, and then they popped up fairly close to us. So they do have rules around how close you can be, but it's hard to predict if they're going to surface near you. So at that point we just stayed our course, and they went off a different way. But that was really fun. A couple big ones with big dorsal fins, and yeah, it was 2 or 3. We couldn't tell because they're coming up at different times, but that was pretty exciting. And we should be in Otter Bay in a couple hours. No, it's not going to catch anything on the dock, is it?
Nope. They're piling up there.
Clear the piling?
Yeah, you're good.
Not much room. Can you go up to the front? Tie us off back here. Well, where have we made it to?
Otter Bay. on Pender Island, North Pender.
Yep.
And we made it just before dark. We are getting welcomed by all the birds. And there was room at the rowing club.
Yeah,
Wow.
both slips are free.
So fantastic.
We're a little bit, we're hanging out a bit at the back here. But they do allow overhang, I think, on this slip. And I could pull us ahead a little bit, but there's a boat right there, so I thought, you know what, give them some space, and we will,
Take a little
no one
bit of a
else is
walk.
coming in tonight, I don't think. And we'll just do a really quick walk before it gets dark.
Yeah. Can't believe birds.
And these are all the birds.